The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Kaylin Parker of Magnolia Wealth Strategies, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana, Drums,
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy. You can see me bright and clear. And got my co-host, well, I can't really see him. See the top of their head, though, that's shining. Bling, bling, blow. The one and only VK Jones. What's up, VK?
What's going on? I'm trying to get this light into it because I'm on another laptop computer. You know the one I usually have, you'll see it bright as day, but good thing I got a backup, but it's an older type model. So, but it is what it is. I'm good. Like, tag, share, subscribe to the Hash It Out Show, all social media platforms, and log on to the hashitoutShow.com. And man, we're back from last week, man. We thank y'all so much for last week with the show, but not just that. Thank you so much for checking us out. All our content we put out from the from the 2025 March Madness LHSA boys state tournament. So we thank y'all so much and continue to support what we do. And shout out to all the media conglomerates, the influencers that we've seen this weekend doing their thing as well. Big shout out to them. But at the same time, it was a great week last week, and I think maybe one of the best LHSA state tournaments we had in a long time.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it in a second. Later on tonight, in about 20 minutes, we will have the head coach of Hamilton Christian join us, the one and only Dexter Washington, as he and his team won the Division Four Select State Championship. So he's going to join us in just a little bit. Well, we got some recapping to do, so we'll recap here, and then we'll recap after we talk with Dexter Washington. But I want to start off with Division One Select. VK's alma mater gets it done 45-35 over St. Thomas More. The St. Augustine Purple Knights are your state champions. And you can write a story about this, ladies and gentlemen, because 30 years ago to the day, Wade Mason, the head coach of the St. Augustine Purple Knights, was a St. Augustine basketball player his senior year when they won the national championship back in 1995. And now he's the head coach, and he wins a state championship back at his alma mater. Jacoby Shepard is named MVP. First half didn't look too good for St. Augustine VK. Only 1 point in the second quarter. But when we went back to do a recap of Country Day, we could hear Coach Wade Mason getting on his team. We're not going to say what he said, but they came out a different team and didn't allow St. Thomas More to score a point in the third quarter, and then they went away with it after that, VK.
Well, like I said, it was two amazing quarters that really made a difference more than anything else. St. Thomas More, give them a lot of credit defensively early. I mean, They had to make St. Aug be patient more than anything else. And then second quarter, they really locked it down on the Purple Knights. But then all of a sudden, the second half started, and St. Augustine, it was just looking like the other games early in the year, the comebacks they had made throughout the season, that they felt like, hey, let's go, let's get it going. We got to set the tone, and that's the thing in most of the comebacks that Aug had this year. They set that tone in the third quarter. They
Yeah.
some way somehow outscore a team or make a big run at the end of the quarter or something. It's something about that third quarter. They do something big and it sets them up for what's going to happen in the fourth. For them to hold St. Thomas More to no points and outscore them 11-0 in the third, that was huge for them going into the fourth, giving them a lot of confidence, knowing, hey, I think we got this. I think we got this. So they had to execute, do what they had to do the full quarter, which they did, breaking a lot of the press. And it was like a straight dunk fest, another 8-0 run in the full quarter, and that pretty much did it, you know. And then St. Augustine big on the free throw line in the full quarter. I believe they made 11 out of their last 14 in the last 4 minutes in the ball game. So that was really big for them to get the 10-point win on St. Thomas More to win the state championship. I I tell you, man, it was an amazing time, an amazing start of the day, and it just made me feel that I don't care if the game started. I don't care that if we started first. I don't care. I just felt like right, it was euphoria right then and there that St. Augustine is taking home state title, and I had to make sure I get it correctly. Number nine, nine. That's the ninth
Is
state.
it 8 or 9? Because somebody said
It's
8, somebody
it's
said 9.
nine. It's nine
Yeah,
because
so I was right, right? I said 9. I did say
yeah,
that.
you.
Yeah, I
I
was
think
right.
you did say nine. You did
Yeah,
say nine. I know you were trying to figure it out, but
right.
I was trying to figure it out. I thought it was eight, but then when they had the big old picture of the championship room of all the banners,
Yeah.
it is number nine here.
So are you positive you didn't see 295 manners, a state and a national?
No, they had a one big 95 banner
All right,
that
cool.
said national and state.
Okay.
So
See,
I'll find a picture and I'll send it to you, and you can just take a look at it.
I
Cause
know, because we were talking, me, you, and Grant. Grant said 7. You said they have. Oh no, we were trying to figure out what's the number, and I said I think they got 8, and I think this be number 9. They win. So yeah, it's all good. You speak of the dunk fest that got the place rocking. Brazil had the first dunk. Then Jacoby Shepard come with the next dunk, dunking on somebody, posterizing somebody. That had the roof starting to tilt a little bit. And then once Braden Boyd got his dunk, it was just all party time city in the stands for St. Augustine because they were going off after that. They knew that then the title was coming back to 2600 AP Turo. And you gotta credit Coach Wade Mason and his staff for the job that they did this year, VK. Because look, Cy Merritt transferred, went to another school, another state. And when he left, a lot of people were saying St. Augustine won't get far because they lost him. But Coach Wade Mason and that staff, they silenced every critic that said that. Got those boys work. They were tough on those boys, and that hard work paid off, VK.
Wade Mason said it himself in the press conference. Tough. Being tough wins games, and tough and been playing tough translates.
Yeah,
So that's what it was. It's hard nosed that he was coaching the way he was coaching, but you could tell he was transparent a lot to his players as well and understanding what's going on with them. But at the same time, still put the discipline more than anything else in those players because he just knew right then and there, hey, we understand it's the new generation, but hey, this is going to lead you to being a leader off the court, a father, a husband. You
yeah.
have to follow. You have to follow suit of what we're showing you and being disciplined and listen. Like he said, it was both for him to sit Jacoby Shepard and Braden Boyd in the stands for being late and have them not to play at all. And it was a game St. Aug actually won. So it just shows you how much this team was about playing for one another, being having each other's back and everything else. It was amazing how this team came together. And you look at it, it's it's just so euphoric and historic of everything that happened this season. You know what I'm saying? And very happy for those seniors. I mean, this is truly maybe one of the deepest senior classes we had all week in this championship, because they have 8 seniors on this roster. Like, they put everything on the table and they felt like, hey, let's go take this home. And you look at it, you know, you look at Wade Mason, first head coach of St. Aug to win as a head coach, a state champion, and a player.
And he won in his first
But
year. This is his first
one
year,
one in his first year. But not just that, he's not exactly the first Purple Knight as a player and a coach to win it.
right?
He's actually the second, and Chuck Fine the third, because the person on the staff who's won his third ring is Mitchell Johnson.
Mr. Johnson.
Remember, Mitchell was an assistant under Clifford Barthay in 2011 when
Mm-hmm.
they won the state championship. So, man, that is a huge, huge thing. And not just that, the thing is sweet about it, and I know this one might be probably the best one for Mitchell, because the fact of the matter is he won it with his brothers.
Yeah.
He won it. He won it as a player, then he won it for one of his coaches when he was there. Now he did it in front of his brothers, and they did it together. And it's great for the school, for the community, and everything else, man. What a time! And I tell you, the both fan bases, it was a great atmosphere. That 12 noon on Saturday, and big ups going to the Purple Knights fans, the parents, supporters, alumni. You showed up and you showed out last Saturday. Big time props. Like I said, they'll come from any and anywhere. But I know one thing. We know one thing for sure. The one big event that hopefully will happen soon, and that's St. Augustine getting to the dome in football.
We get to football later. We on the basketball tip right
I
now,
I I,
VK.
I know I
We
know
on the basketball. We'll
I,
get to that later.
I
But
know we're on the basketball
yeah,
tip.
we on basketball.
No, I'm just saying. I'm
No, we
talking
ain't
about.
saying it right now. We'll say it later.
No, I
Coach
know we saying
Valdez
that.
got something cooking real good. We're gonna get to that later. But let's move on
Okay.
to Division Two Select. And majority of people would have sat there and said Archbishop Shaw is the best team in the state. Majority of people. They would have said this. And most people would have said Archbishop Shaw will win the state championship. Ladies and gentlemen, that did not happen Saturday at 4 at well, game started at 4, ended around close to 6. That did not happen. Archbishop Hannon upsets number 1 seed Archbishop Shaw 59-55. I got to credit Coach Goff and his staff for the game plan they put together. They put together one hell of a game plan to defeat Archbishop Shaw. He said in the press conference on Wednesday, VK, that they would be ready come Saturday for Archbishop Shaw, and that they were. Can't take nothing from him. We've always said Coach Goff is one of the best coaches in the state, and that showed Saturday. Um, Drew Timmons, MVP, 22 points. Shaw came out sluggish, slow, turnovers, didn't get going till middle of the third quarter, and they actually took the lead. But Hannah stayed calm. Coach Goff got his team together, and they were able to come back, take the lead, and didn't look back. Um, Heartbreaking for the Shaw Eagles for the season that they've had and for the talent all around. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Majority didn't. Hannah saw it. They believed, which they're supposed to do. And all the credit goes to Coach Goff and his staff and his team, VK.
Yes, I tell you, and I said this before the brackets came out, and I said it myself. I said the scariest thing for Shaw, they can win it all. The scariest scenario And I looked at that bracket. I looked at it. I said, hand is number two. I said, I don't know if Shaw won't face them a third time because of the fact that and the
And I
premonition,
told you they gonna face anybody in front of them. You just gotta face them.
right? And you got to face them. You're right. But at the same time, I went wrong with that because of the fact that I seen Coach Golf in action so many years. And I'm like, he thrives in rematches. He really has his team ready. It's like, oh, we beat that bus early. Oh no, it's a different team. You really got to play your butts off. You really got because they're not going to give it to you. They're going to let you go have to earn everything to win it. There's times that he wins rematch, sometimes he loses. I remember first time I met Coach Golf when he coached at St. Thomas Aquinas.
Hmm.
They went against Riverside, a good and young Riverside team who was hot, but they played them a couple times and Riverside won. But the third time, I tell you, St. Thomas Aquinas gave Riverside everything, and Riverside had to put it away in the last 2 minutes to win the state championship. And I just knew right then and there, I was like, man, this is one of the few times I seen somebody stood up to Timmy Bird like he did. And I was like, wow. I'm like, and then seeing him over the years, I was like, Ergo can really coach. He really does a great job, and everything really paid off. He won, I think, a couple state titles at STA, but then when he came to Hannon, I mean, amazing work. And you look at what he did against Liberty, a Liberty team that was just athletic all around and big, and for them to do what they did was just unbelievable. And probably the second biggest upset in the history of the top 28 I'm talking about the state tournament. But man, but looking at this, when Shaw came back and took the lead,
Hmm.
I was thinking in the back of my head, all right, Shaw might be good, but they got to put it away now. You up three, big comeback. You gotta put this away. If you don't, that's it. Give credit to hand, and
Yeah,
they came back and put the knockout punch on Shaw that we have not seen all year long. But that's what happens when you play a team as many times. Familiarity happens, meaning
correct.
that they know what you're doing. We watch the film and everything else. So big credit to them. Drew Timmons coming up big in the last couple minutes to make some huge plays as a senior. You could just see the hunger in him knowing what happened 3 years ago against Liberty with him scoring 31 in the most outstanding player. He felt like senior year at that time. I got it. I'm like, I done been there, done that. We got to get this.
I'm gonna
So
hop in right quick.
go ahead.
I'm gonna hop in right quick, and let's call a spade a spade. This was Shaw Eagles' year. This was the year of the Shaw Eagles, hands down, hands down. Shaw should be hanging up a banner in their gym, and it's like deja vu to me. 2000, Shaw won the championship. Could have been a 25-year anniversary, like your 30-year anniversary. Could have been a 25-year anniversary. 2001, Shaw lost to Jesuit. No, excuse me. Well, they did lose to Jesuit in the championship game, but before that, Shaw beat Jesuit 3 times, and then the fourth time in the state championship game, they lost to Jesuit. This was like deja vu. You beat Hannon twice. You play him the third time, you lose. It was like deja vu happening, and that Shaw team in '01 was one of the best teams ever at Shaw, and then played bad against Jesuit. Here we are, this 2025 team, one of the best teams ever at Shaw, and didn't play well against Hannon. And that's what they're going to be remembered as. And I hate to say it, that both those teams, one of the best teams ever at Shaw, and there's nothing in that gym to show for it. And I feel bad for those seniors, Kobe,
And
Butler,
actually,
Dennis
and actually,
Steele,
go ahead.
Khalil Aguaboro, and number 14. I can never remember his name, but number 14, the four seniors. I feel bad for them because this was the year. This was West Laurentine's best team ever. Not his best player ever. And we know that's Cam Johnson. But overall team, this was his best team ever. And they were supposed to get that championship, and it
A-
did happen.
Actually, it's the third instance for Shaw because talking to a lot of people, I'm saying the third instance because of the fact that
The third instance.
the third instance I'm saying is because of the fact that the first state championship team in '88. the first state championship for Shaw at the time. It was 88 or 89, 89, 89.
89.
When the first won in the 89, they said the team, I think the year before or the year after, was really, really good.
They
And
didn't get
it's
the
bet
state though. They didn't get the state.
that's what I'm saying.
So
They said
it's irrelevant. We talk
no.
about teams that got the state. We talking
Well,
teams that got the state.
I know, but I'm saying as good as talented of a team. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to say too. That they didn't get. I know they didn't get there, but they was as good as that team or better. That's what I'm saying too as well. But they didn't get there, but still, they. I'm saying that from older Shaw people, they always said that they talk about the '89 team, but they say the team after was unreal, and they just didn't get there.
I'm
You
talking
know what
about
I'm saying?
teams that got the state. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I'm just going. I'm just going with look. I'm not trying to say you wrong, dog. I'm just telling you what. Trust me, I'm older than you. I know a lot of older Shaw folks. Just saying. So, but
I probably
regardless of
know
the
no more
fact,
though.
huh?
I probably know more though.
We both probably know as many. So
I'm
let's
alone.
don't
I'm alone. I'm
let,
just
let,
saying I'm
let,
alone.
let's don't. I'm not. Let's not compare. I know we both know as many because I'm just saying
I
because
know more.
why you doing that, dog? You just you just stop.
Well, look. Let's. We got a
But
couple minutes.
regardless of the fact, it
Couple
was
minutes
just
before Dexter Washington comes on. But
it's just
go ahead.
it's just
Go
hard
ahead.
it's just heartbreaking. For I feel bad for
It
you.
was heartbreaking.
I feel bad for the seniors. I feel bad for the alumni and everything else. I thought this was gonna be a huge day. Was I surprised? I'm a little surprised. I'm not surprised that Hannon got it done, but I'm a little surprised that I'm thinking that when Shaw took the lead, that I'm thinking, okay, can they finish the job? That was the biggest thing. Can they finish? And they didn't finish. And for Hannah to do what he did, and it just like wow. It and sometimes it's that with Shaw with the hard luck, and then we've seen it before with other teams in the past who went against them. Like the last time I seen some was McMahon and Carver.
Oh,
The
we both
first,
saw that. We both saw that.
yeah,
McMahon and
McMahon
Carver.
Carver the first matchup,
Carver couldn't hit a jumper. Couldn't hit a jumper at all to
and
save
and and, and,
their
McMahon,
year.
and McMahon just was so determined. That was like the fourth time they played, and McMahon was like, "Mm-mm, we're not going. And I knew the game was going to be close because it's just the fact that McMahon is in the title game, and it's
Yep.
the fourth time, and it's like, no, we're not going to let you stomp us. We going to control what we can control." But it was so controversial in that one. And then another example, Brother Martin, St. Aug, they went against each other about 5 times and
Yeah,
a
brother
close
Martin came out
ball
on top,
game, and
right?
Brother Martin came out on top in the last few seconds. That was a classic in itself. It was just too bad. It went to the back end for St. Augustine.
Yeah, man.
That,
Too
that-
bad we went to the back end. I gotta stop you right there because we
yeah,
gotta do our commercial
yeah.
break. And when we come back, we got a state championship winning head coach joining us. Coach Dexter Washington from Hamilton Christian will be joining us right after these commercial breaks. Y'all stay right there. You're watching the Hash It Out Show.
Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Autoglass can help. For 20 years, Leo Autoglass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504 301 8353.
Hey y'all, this is Jen Hale from Fox Sports. You're watching the Hash It Out Show with JB the Sports Guy, VK Jones, and George Peppis.
Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504 940 7552.
tell you, she put on a performance like I was sent off today, unbelievable. And we got that big video screen. Anybody want sponsorship? I run it a year. $5,000. I run your screen all year long. KPLC, American Press, you name. J.P. Preston, who was picking Crescent City and Laker Prep. Where my man? Your man, the other guy. Yeah. Oh, that's him there. Yeah. Oh man, Laker Prep, Crescent City. You know, and I'm sitting down there looking at it. And I want to say something, and I know Preston because he was on the road with us with Travel Ball. I never saw y'all. You saw me. You know me. And if I put a product out there.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, David, the sports guy, joined by VK Jones. And when we left that press conference, I told VK Jones, man, he didn't see our show because he would have called us out too for picking Crescent City.
What's up, guys?
Joining us right now is the head coach of Hamilton Christian. They won the Division IV Select State Championship in basketball. We have the one and only Coach Dexter Washington. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you guys?
Oh, we're
We're
good,
good.
man.
We're good, Coach.
We're doing good. Thank you for joining us, Coach.
Oh, no problem, man. Looking forward to it, man. I didn't realize you guys picked Crescent City. I'm glad you just telling me that. I'll probably have a shot for y'all toward the end, though.
Oh, no problem,
No,
Coach.
no problem. The thing about us that's different, Coach. We're men of our word, and we're wrong. We're wrong. So we were definitely wrong. And myself, what I seen the year before from your team comparing to this year, I was very, very impressed of the improvement in everything. And I was like, man, this squad here is much better than I seen a year ago. And I'm like, this team hungry, man. So I'm very impressed.
Well, you know, actually, 3 of those guys would have been starting this year and possibly another one, but they decided to do what every American kid do. They decided to transfer out. And it happened. It kind of caught us all off guard. And, you know, it was like, okay, our run is over. We're going to go ahead and take our league this year and we'll reload for next year. And, you know, my son and I, we sat and talked. And he's sitting in there, I'm sitting in here. And we started playing summer ball with this group. And we played Bonneville, we played Parkview Baptist, we played Peabody. And we won some games, and we actually stayed close to some bigger schools with that same squad. And so I was pretty excited about it. I said, well, you know what? Maybe this might be what we need. And what I noticed from the kids, they all got along better. We didn't have 5-star guys or guys that thought they were 5-star, you know, because the guys that may have thought they were 5-star, they didn't look like a 5-star guys when we played last year in Burton Coliseum, you know, and you know, so it brought this team closer together. And another part of it is, man, it was truly a divine intervention in all this, man. You know, the schedule was conducive to there. We had another kid, number 30, who didn't come back till late in the year for whatever reason, personal reason. And he texted me one day and he said, Coach, when are y'all practicing? You know, we always had him registered, and you know, we told him, and I did the right thing, man. I met with the team, you know, because he hadn't been there, and I asked the team to make a vote. If they say no, you're not playing. And then, you know, I also called the parents in and I said, this is the situation. And, you know, everybody was for it, man. And, you know, he never started. And this kid had been with me since 7th grade. And so, you know, he wasn't a big difference maker, but he brought in an IQ and he gave us another body with some experience.
Coach, tell us the emotions you were going through once that clock hit zero and you know you were state champions.
Man, I'll tell you what the emotion was at the 2-minute mark when we were behind. I said, man, this cannot happen again. And this is when they took the lead. And Chris came back and hit the shot and everything else transpired. And, you know, when the last play is 61-58 and this last play coming up, and I'm like, this can't happen. And when I saw Javon running like he does in the track and tip that ball, and I looked at the video over and over, I knew it was over, man. Listen, I felt free. I felt relieved. I felt just so much of the world lifted off my shoulders. Because I'm going to tell you, man, this was our 7th trip up there. And the critics and everybody else, when you get up there that many times and you do not come out on top, it's gonna always be your fault. It's always coach's fault anyway. But the thing about it was so much because of the stuff that transpired with the transfers and all this. People thinking that Hamilton Christian basketball was falling apart. Uh, Actually, I think they probably tried to do it intentionally, and I at meeting my kid. But God, man, I was so overwhelmed. My son is my sister coach. My sister was there for the
Yeah.
first time she ever saw me in a game live. My brother was there. My uncle was there, and my grandson was right there on the bench. It was like the only people missing is my parents, and they in heaven. And look here, man, and it was like it's over. Now let's talk about trying to get back and get us another.
Most definitely. Um, in the semifinals, Crescent City made a run, got close, but you guys fought strong and got the win. Southern Lab went on a 9-0 run and had a 4-point lead. You guys came back and kept the lead. Talk about your team's resiliency.
Hey, that's been us all year long. 4 quarters in your face is the culture that was built 13 years ago. 13 years ago, when I stepped foot in there, it was one thing that I established with my first team was we're not going to quit no matter what the scores are. That we're never going to lose the war. We might lose the game, but we're never going to lose the war. And we're going to play to the bitter end. And for the first time, honestly, I saw it really kick in because in the top 28, that was Panic City's time. And those guys, and they said it in their own press conference, we came closer together when we hit adversity because we talk about adversity going to hit all the time. What makes a good man, not a good basketball player, what makes a good person and a good man is how do you handle adversity or when things not going your way? Can you stay the same than you do when it's going your way? And that's just my philosophy all the way. I don't want the game of basketball to change me, and I'm not going to let it change my kid to being something that they truly not because they're definitely a reflection of me. Hey man, I lost 6 times. And every time I lost, I always said, when God was ready for Hamilton Christian to win it, we'll win it. The sun coming up in the morning, nobody crying, and we're going to go to school the next day. And that's been my motto the whole time. Resiliency. This group here was probably the most resilient group I've ever had, ever.
Some years ago, Hurricane Laura came and did some damage, and you said that the gym was the only thing that was left standing at Hamilton Christian. And you said that principal, I think her name is Morgan Dory.
That's correct.
Okay. You said that she's one of the best that you ever worked with. And you were driving back and forth from Houston to Lake Charles pretty much every day. Um, Talk about the job y'all have done as a team of not only just building programs in football, basketball, athletics wise, but the school itself.
Guys, you had to actually be here to witness it. I mean, when we were first allowed to come back, man, I had just built the weight room up, fixed it up, brand new stuff, painted it. Hell, I took the money out of my pocket. I wanted our kids to come back to stuff beautified. And, we painted the locker room in the gym and we started fixing things up because we knew that year we were getting ready to do something. Man, when that hurricane hit, it tore the entire weight room down. The school buildings were all devastated. You could not go back in them. And we're sitting in the front of the gym. There's no lights in the city. It's hot. And there's really nowhere to go get food. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to get Hamilton back open. Because let me tell you something. I know this to be true. If we do not open up, we're never going to open back up. Because the kids we had would have ventured off. And with the LHSA at the time, they all would have been eligible to go to different schools. And I'm telling you, they never would have returned. And I think that may have been the end of Hamilton Christian. But this little lady, she's about 34 years old, sat down. And finally, when we got lights, we used to go to this place called In-Laws and eat. And there were some guys in there, working through the hurricane. And we was able to find these guys through conversation that was the owners of temporary buildings in Texas. And we connected and we started getting buildings in and we started creating a place for the kids to come to school. And man, next thing you know, we were opening back up. Now, in the process of running back and forth from Houston, I was going to football practice. And the first day I called practice, I had 20 kids showed up for football practice. I still got that picture in my phone. I was elated
Yeah.
because Washington Marion wasn't playing, Bob wasn't playing, none of the schools here were playing. And what made it ideal, the LHSAA was letting kids that wanted to play, they gave them a waiver to go to different schools. And we had a really good football team. I had some kids from Sam Houston, I had kids from Bob, I had kids from Washington Man, I had kids from all over. And the crazy thing about it was trying to put all these rivalries on one field and make them become one. And it worked out, man. And we had a good season, both seasons. We ended up going to Calvary Baptist. We lost in the playoffs up there, but we had a really good athletic season, and we went into basketball, and we went to the Final Four that year. That was the year I think we lost to Lab. And man, let me tell you something. That group of kids that will forever be in my heart because they were the Hurricane children, and they created an atmosphere on that campus that began attracting. Now listen, we still got those temporary buildings. We still have not gotten our money from FEMA.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are still calling to come in and Morgan, man, that's the principal. I don't know how she does it, maybe because she's young and she got a lot of energy. And right now, you know, with the Louisiana Gator program being put enacted and incorporated, where kids can qualify for scholarship money to go to a different school, the money follow. Man, we have about 150 kids who applied and listed Hamilton Christian as a school of choice.
Good deal.
And so this state championship come at the right time because, you know, everybody want to go where they winning championships or this and all that. The other part is, and I'm sure you're going to talk about it later, is when you got a kid like a Javon Vital in your program, it's very attractive for people to come because the universities are going to be coming for him.
That was my next question. I want to talk about Javon Vital. We still saw you and Javon share a special moment on that court after winning the state championship. What does he means to you, and what type of person is he?
He's my child without my blood. I got him in 6th grade. His mama posted on social media the other day. The little kid came to my camp in 5th grade. I didn't know who he was. And he put on a performance at my camp. And he won the MVP. And, you know, she sent me that picture. Then she sent a picture of him winning the MVP of the top 28. And it brought back so many memories because he's been under my wing the whole time. And I've treated him as mine. You know, it kind of reminded me of Debbie Henderson because Debbie was mine the same way. We walked him all the way through the process. And his mom was just a mom that went to work, and she allowed us to manage the blueprint that was created. And the same thing has happened with Javon. And when he looked at me and I looked at him, because this kid texted me one day, I wish I could show you the text. He said, Coach, people don't know we've been through so much. We got to get us one. And he knows a lot of stuff. And then he told me the other day for the championship, he said, Coach, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get you a championship before I leave Hamilton Christian. Now, I felt that was possible, but when I had to look at the Crescent City and the lineup they bought with McGee and the rest of them, and I had to look back at my team, and you know, I'm like, they're gonna be a tough draw for us. And hey man, that kid kept me honored his word, man. And you know, he with me. I take him everywhere he needs to go. His mom go to work. I take him whatever camps he has to go through, whatever he has going on. You know, I kind of keep him on the straight and narrow because the reason she wanted him at Hamilton, because she said, Coach, I ain't gonna lie, that's his exact word. I know my child. and I need to put him somewhere where he can't fall off. She said, I know my child. And that's how he and that's being real, man. And been with me the whole time, man. We've gone to Auburn, Miami. I bring him to camps. I do everything that is needed for a kid that is blessed by God with talent. Because it ain't nothing to do with Dexter Washington, coach. That kid is gifted from God with a special talent that nobody can cope. You got to realize he's only a sophomore. He played as a seventh grader, the free safety, because our safety got hurt, against Calvary Baptist. And I'll go back and look at that film, and he looked like my grandson. He almost got an interception. And I tell him all the time, I say, you was the one supposed to come in and stop the run. He said, Coach, them was some big old boys. Yeah. But he was on the field, man. So he's always played up. And in his mind, we go to LSU camp and we go here. Coach, I can play with them boys. And then they put him with the 9th, 10th grade group. He mad because he want to come over here with a junior and a senior. He said, Coach, I'm not scared of no man. And you know what? When you watch that kid play, you could tell he's a couple of grades above.
VK, floor is yours, my friend.
Coach, man, it's good to have you on the show, man, and I tell you, you're doing yeoman's work over there at Hamilton Christian. I gotta ask you this: the schedule in itself, it was a tough schedule, and got some good wins, got some losses, but the losses, I know, though, more than anything else, there were more life lessons to you and your team, and it kind of prepared you for the playoff run more than anything else because you're really playing up against a Washington Marion and also against a Archbishop Rummel just to really prepare y'all for that playoff run, right, Coach?
Yes, sir. Washington Marion is a best friendly rival we have, and that's probably the only team that soundly beat us. And they were bigger than us. I felt like it was some things that went on in the game that, I'm a former referee, so I understand certain things, and I wanted it to be a easy going, not physical, And I felt like if I did that, they would be over aggressive and we get them at the foul. Well, it didn't happen that night. We take our lead. We ain't nothing to complain about. So when Rummel came in, I'm going to tell you, Javon twisted his ankle right in the second quarter, and the scores was real close, and we did not shoot the ball well. But that game right there, and we went in the locker room, I said, if you guys play defense the way you played against this motion offensive Rummel, I guarantee you we're playing for a state title. I told them that because we guarded them like I don't know if they've been guarded before. And the scores, toward the end of the game, I'm a 1A school, at fourth quarter, they still trying to score points to make the score look real big. But that was a dogfight in there for a long time toward the end, and our kids, okay, they got it. How kids are. And we gave them everything we want. But that game right there told me that if we defend the way we defended that night, that we'd have a chance. I say, we're not running across 118 that do all this stuff. And y'all seen Rummel. The ball just moving, the kids moving, setting screens, doing all that. Man, you got to be well coached and understand the game to be able to defend that stuff.
Very much agree. Very much agree. Scott Thompson really runs a very, very tough offense in itself. We've seen it in the past before. But look, going into the playoffs, you guys really turned it up. You got a big win against Block, one big, and then you won big against Hamilton Christian. Seemed like defense really kicked in there, and then all of a sudden you go against Crescent City, and I know the approach was more than anything else. It was a Warriors fight. You guys survived it. That was really huge for y'all. So, but going into it, pretty much you became the second team from the Lake Charles area to win the state championship on the floor of the Burton Complex. You and Lackassine wound up winning it. I mean, makes it three teams. Washington Marion was the first.
Right.
But for y'all being the second, what was your thoughts winning it on that floor? But not just that, becoming now more of one of the big programs in Lake Charles.
This is really weird. Like, when I was there, I was doing a radio broadcast when Washington Marion won it. And we hadn't had an opportunity in a long time. And Washington Man had a really good team that year. One of my better friends, he's dead today, was coaching them at the time. And we were both up there at the same time. And we had a go green for the city for Washington Man and Hamilton. But the thing that happened since that, basketball in the area was kind of taking a drop off a little bit. A lot of stuff was happening. But Hamilton never did. You got to remember, I've been there 13 years. 12 of those 13 years, I was in the quarterfinal. 7 of those 13 years, I made it to the Final Four. 2 of those 13 years, I played for a state championship. And 1 of them, we won a state championship. So we have always been the one team in the city, no matter what, that if we're not in the Final Four, we didn't have a successful season. And that's been our motto ever since we used to play Arcadia and Lafayette Christian. We went up and lost in the quarters to Crescent City. The other quarterfinal loss was to St. Martin. No, I'm sorry, not St. Martin. Who was that other quarterfinal? It doesn't matter. But we lost to Calvary Baptist in the semifinals in our gym. You know, we lost to Lafayette Christian in the state. I'm talking about some good teams at the time. So we were playing against not only good teams, we're playing against some premier players.
Yes.
A lot of those kids went off to play college basketball. So now, being the only team in the city of Lake Charles, and I'm not going to say anything, but from a personal perspective, I even lost a coach that had been with me 12 years. From a personal perspective, I told my kid, watch what I'm telling you. Everybody will be watching us play. Now, I didn't want to say a state championship, but I said, we're going to be there. And I said, because God doesn't like ugly. It's not about what you do, it's the manner in which you do it. It's all about respect. And so today, we ended up being the last team standing, but we ended up being the last team standing with a state championship. And that's truly God's grace, and to God be the glory, because it was destiny. It was the 7th time, and it was completion according to the Bible. And God's word is always going to be true. And that's why when we fell behind, the divine intervention of Chris hitting that big 3 to cut it to 1. Then we get a turnover, and that kid who had shot the ball really well, number 11, number 1, he had a wide open look and he missed that shot. That's whether it was a divine intervention, because there's no way that late in the game, in the championship game, you just go march right back after leading the entire game and still come out on top. Robert Lee, who used to be the old coach at UL, when I lost my first state championship, or when I lost to Bourgeois in the Cajun Dome, on the last minute shot, man, you got to have a little luck in this thing, man. And, not a lot of people get here, but you say you got to have a lot of luck, And I called Vic over at Calvary, and I gave him my story, and I didn't want him to put his head down. I say, Vic, when God ready, you're going to get it. I say, you cannot stop doing what God called you to do because you didn't win a state championship. You got to keep working, and he's going to reward you, but he'll reward you in his time. 13 years, 7 trips, and 1 state championship, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know there's been a lot of movements in Lake Charles with basketball. We looked at Washington Marion years ago. We looked at Iowa. We looked at St. Louis with a couple runs. Lycosine has been having a couple runs. Now here come Lake Charles College Prep. How has been the state of basketball, in your opinion, in Lake Charles, Louisiana?
I think it's gotten a lot better. A lot of teams that didn't get there were right there, but I think the basketball in Lake Charles is a lot better. Sulphur over across the bridge had a good run. Westlake made it to the quarter. They were 1 game away. St. Louis was 1 game from the quarter. Washington Marion, who I thought going to Peabody, that's a big rival, was a tough draw for them. So Lake Charles College Prep, I had them penciled in as the only team in Lake Charles making. You know, I thought we had a chance, but I looked at them win the showdown in the lake. I played for the championship, and they had all the pieces. And you know, again, you got to have a little luck, and you got to have kids that understand where we going. And for us, everybody on my team knew Javon was going to have the ball, but he was going to make the right basketball play. You didn't have to worry whether you would get it if you was open. He's not the greatest shooter from the perimeter, but I tell you what, when you going down here, it's just like a tailback coming ready to run over you. You either go get in my way, take a charge, or I'm going up over you and I'm going to make. My kids understood that. And so, Setting Ed was able to get shots. Chris Rito. So, we were right where we were, but I was kind of sad for my buddy Sean, man, because he put a lot of work in that college prep. He worked for the C. He worked to get Madison Prep in his gym, not knowing that university would come in and play the game of their life.
Wow. Man, but I'm pretty I know I have a friend of mine that actually worked with the Hamilton Christian football staff for this season. He has a son that played football and baseball. His last name is Stewart. Mark Stewart.
Hey, you know Mark?
Yes, sir. That's my Purple Knight brother, man. We graduated together at St. Augustine '97.
Man, Mark came and helped out this year. He came in my office. I'm the AD. I'm also the football coach.
Okay.
And he came in. You know, it's kind of hard because I only had like me on campus from the football. Everybody else was CCP. And the other guy on campus did the middle school program. But Mark did a good job. He coached the secondary. His son came to us from college prep where he was a kicker. Well, you come to Hamilton Christian, you're not just getting ready to kick no football. If you can run and you can jump and you can do all that, then you get ready to play something else on that field. When you don't have but 25 players, you got to play. No specialization here. You know, and they did a really good job. He made second team all district. This is crazy. We lost a lineman in the first game of the season. Caleb came to me and said, Coach, he said, listen, I'll play the guard position. I just want to win. This guy who came as a kicker played left guard for 10 football games in a playoff win and was a starting safety on defense. Amazing. And made one of the biggest plays in the playoff when he forced a fumble against St. John when we end up coming in and beating them in our first round playoff game. Mm. So you took a kid from not being on-field kid and bringing him in. Not only was he getting better as a safety, but he also played offensive line for us. And we went to the second round where we faced Riverside. So I'm gonna make sure, on banquet night, I do something real special for that young man because he didn't have to do that. Definitely. He really didn't have to do it. And Caleb, the dad, spoke because it's hard, man. When he came to me, I said, "Listen, man, go talk to your parents. I don't want to do this without their blessing." And when I saw the team morale in him come out, there was no doubt, man. He had a phenomenal year. He coming back next year. Hopefully next year he doesn't have to play guard. He could only work on his craft and he could get better.
Yeah, and I tell you, his dad was an awesome safety, man, playing for St. Aug. He was a hard hitter himself. So, but that's my guy, man. And I'm glad you're doing. I'm glad Caleb is doing well, and I'm glad you really helping out with him and everything else. But I've got to ask you this last question. I'm gonna let Jared close things out. What is the future for Hamilton Christian, man? Things are really going up right now, and then on top of that, what I'm saying, I know y'all probably having a championship celebration or parade coming up or something like that, especially the accomplishment y'all just had this year.
Well, today my principal did once again what I was telling him in the press conference was no lie. I wish y'all could see the video. It's going to come out today. She goes in the day we have all go day. I told you that woman got a big screen up there. It's off the chain what she does with. We had a celebration for the entire school. So she set the trophy and she bought from pre-K all the way in, and everybody got around the team and were part of the state championship trophy and something that they gonna one day have to compete for. It was so awesome, man. When I don't know if we Facebook friends or whatever, but if we not, y'all come send me a request, man, and get on it so y'all can follow some of this stuff on my Instagram. Listen, I got a guy that does all the video. If you really want to see somebody that is crazy, is what I call. I'm 62 years old, man. What I know about all this? When I tell you, she reaches a generation of people, and this is what the society like. She gives people, she sells our brand. And so it's very attractive to see kids that are being placed on billboards and doing this and doing that. Everybody, and you know me, I'm gonna go get every set of uniform I can. You know, I'm gonna have about 6 warm up tops. And when you walk in there, you know, you're gonna be like, whoa. And I'm gonna have a locker room that look like not a college locker room, but close to it. You know, hey man, this is what they like. I have to be able to show them what we got, and we have to be different. And that's what has really, really, really helped build Hamilton Christian. The future of it, if a couple of things transpire, I'm looking in 2 years, if everything shake, rattle, and roll right, I'll be disappointed if we can't get these guys as close to the dome as possible. And what it'd be like me with a set of headsets in the dome. You know, man, I tell y'all I'm so blessed and God been so good to me. You know, I was a coach of the year in football. You know, I went to the second round, turned back around, coach of the year in the basketball, and may have more honors coming after this run. You know, I mean, it might be the Louisiana guy, you know, and man, you know, what else can I say? And it's not really about me, it's about, and we were talking about when God called, put a calling on your life, like you guys doing what you're doing, nothing, no, no job, no man, no woman, nothing can take you off the course of what God called you. And because you got to know what you're calling. And when I realized what my calling was, I stuck to my calling. And if you don't understand my calling, if you someone else and you can't understand, I'm not hanging around you because I don't want you to take me off course. The kids in my community and everywhere, I'm from Opelousas. I come up with Deborah in that group. They need the right guidance. They need the right love. They need to know that someone can say, whether you make 2 points or not, man, I love you. You got a shot in life. And that's what truly what it's all about.
And I tell you, man, you know, you could sooner or later, maybe it might happen, man. You might be the second ever coach to win a football and basketball state championship in 1 year, man. That didn't happen one time before under Sid Edwards, and that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He
Yep.
winning the state championship at Redemptorist in
I
football, and
remember
then comes
that.
back and he wins in basketball.
I
And I'm
remember
and I'm
that.
just shocked. I'm like, wait, is that the football coach? And I'm
Yes.
like, and
Yes.
he coaches good in football as well as bad. I don't know if you remember that, Jared, but yeah, he's the only coach in the history
Yep.
of the
Stay there.
LHSA to win a football and a basketball state championship in 1 year as a head coach.
That's right.
So I think that'll happen, but I appreciate your inspiration, Coach Dexter, because I'll tell you one thing, like me and Jared myself, but I take this thing very seriously because I've been in this business now 19 years
Right.
and in media and everything. And I feel like this is a ministry to me.
That's
I
right.
feel like God has really led me and also led Jared to come together to do what we're doing right now. And what we do more than anything else, we want to tell the story. We're New
That's right.
Orleans based, but we go all over because like,
Right.
hey, if we see something good, we see like, hey, this team doing well. Hey, let's get the coach on. Let's get that coach on. We want to tell the story of that community in itself. We go outside of what we do because the New Orleans people know what we do. The Baton Rouge people know what we do. But when we go outside of it, we love it because we love to hear those stories from those areas, man. We just love what we do.
It's awesome, man. Look, I'm telling you, I got to figure out how to put this on my social media, share it to the community, and let them connect you where you can get connected. I'm the second vice president of the Louisiana High School Basketball Association. So my thing is very simple. I like to connect dots. I like to connect them all over so that we could create something for somebody that we could help. Just because you where you are and where I am is another resource that have connected. Okay, man, I got this kid, I got a story. Y'all might want to look into it. Vice versa. This what this truly is all about, man. It's about developing resources that can help the kid become successful.
Most definitely. Coach say he's from Opelousas. I got a lot of family in Lake Charles, Coach, and I told him I was having Coach Dexter Washington on the show, and my auntie, she said, "Oh yeah, he's from Opelousas." I was like, "How you know this?" But anyway,
They
anyway, Coach,
know.
they know you, yes sir, they know you.
They know.
My auntie actually stays on Fifth Avenue, so she ain't far
Really?
from the school.
Really?
Oh yeah, my mama's side of the family all from Lake Charles, yes sir.
I be done.
Oh yeah,
Man, that's wild. Yep.
yes sir.
And they know Coach Wash. They know me.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, they know me. They do they ever? Yep, yep, yep. So man, man. Alabama State just won the game, man.
Sure did.
They did. Yeah. I'm just grateful you guys called it. Those little 60 students I got in high school, you know, all they out there right now. They had track practice. They had baseball game. This Look, after the state championship game, Javon was at track practice talking about Coach Dex. I got to get my time down. He went to practice, and he's also a great baseball player. And so the crazy thing, when my kids get to just focus on one sport, can you imagine what Mickey Joseph told me that? He said, I love 1A kids. He said, because when you get them, you just focus on one side. He said you could create an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's right.
So
That's right.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Coach, we're gonna have to come to Lake Charles and stream a basketball game of yours one day. This
y'all
next
welcome
season.
anytime.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Anytime, man. Y'all, man, look me up on the book. Let's be friends. I'm share, like. I've made me another connection, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You
Yes, sir.
got it.
You got it, Coach Washington. Congratulations on the state championship win, and thank you for joining us tonight. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you guys, man. You guys have a great evening.
You too,
You
Coach.
too,
Thank
coach.
you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. That is Coach Dexter Washington, man, doing a lot of big things up there in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
And I think you see why I do what I do. Well, just what we
Oh,
do.
look how you slipped that, how you slipped that in there. Like you
See,
slick. I got you.
you did.
Oh
Not,
yeah.
but see, I was just saying I had to catch myself because like what we do. You know what I'm saying? What we do as a team. But for me, now you kind of understand why I shake coach's hands
I
and
always
everything
understand.
else.
I just be messing with
I,
you,
I
man.
look see the biggest thing. I just want to say this to a lot of people, including to my people in the media and everything else. And I know it's kind of funny for y'all guys because I'm like, yeah, BKB shaking hands. I was like, see, the thing about me is this, and I learned that from a lot of past journalists, even Ken Trahan, is the fact that you have to create relationships, but not just that. You want coaches and people to know your face, to understand and say, hey, I see you. I see what you're doing.
Yep.
Doing a good job, regardless of the loss, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I try to give encouragement to coaches, but at the same time, to understand, like, hey, I'm not that type of media person that's gonna trash you. I'm just gonna ask you a question. But at the same time, when you have good relationship with coaches, and it'd be no problem. They do an interview or no problem to even grab you for a talk or a discussion or something like that because you develop relationships. It'd be really, really good. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, and that's what I love. Like we just made kind of a connection right there. Like
Yep.
Hamilton Christian, maybe we can have him next year. See, we're doing a lot more big things in this brand, and I'm proud of what we're about to step into more than anything else. Because last week, like I felt like it was a celebration these last 2 weeks for us because we felt like we're kind of elevated. You know what I'm saying? Getting access, talking to the players, getting a lot of connections with other media conglomerates and all that stuff, and they're seeing us. They're seeing us and they're seeing what we're doing, and they're giving us a lot of respect. And it's just not just for the media, but all the fans, the coaches. We are what we are. You know what I'm saying? And we are going to continue to do what we're doing. That's what keeping me moving because I'm treating this like a full time job, and this is personal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like give a lot of props to Jared and to George. They both have full time jobs, but I don't. So I have part times. So I do make the time out to be like, hey, whatever we want to do, let's do it. We make the time to do what we do, and and it's open enough to do a lot more than we do, man. So I tell you, the top 28 is great. It was just like a celebration, but I know we're gonna be expanding and doing a lot more things with this brand itself.
Man, I'm
But if you
looking
want
forward
to
to
jump
going to
on the
Hamilton
ride, jump on the
Christian, man.
ride, dude.
I'm looking forward to going to Hamilton Christian next season for basketball.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it too. There's gonna be a lot of places. I know football wise, we're gonna go to some places, maybe the usual, but I know basketball. I think we're gonna go to a lot more places in a little bit
I,
because there's so many programs, so many good
we gonna
programs.
ask him about that the tournament they throw every year. Wasserman comes, Madison Pro. We gonna talk to him about that. Maybe we can
Yes,
stream that tournament on their last day or something. We'll see. But
last day or the last 2 days, catch semifinals and championship games.
depending how they do it. If it's just an
Yeah,
invitation, then we can do one day. But we'll see how they do it. We got time. We got a whole we got months. But
got
anyway,
more.
guys, VK, let's get back into recap. We did Division One select. We did Division Two select. Let's go to Division Three select. The Country Day Cajuns defeated Calvary Baptist. And Calvary Baptist talked about as one of the best teams in the state also. But Country Day with Herman Dyson, Curtis McAllister, and Kellen Brewer leading the way to get them a state championship. This is the sixth state championship in Country Day's existence. Your
Actually,
thought?
actually eighth in their school
Is
history,
it six under Coach Mike?
six under Coach Mike McGuire.
Okay, there we go. Under Coach Mike McGuire, is six. Got it. All right. Your thoughts, VK?
Oh man, I mean Calvary. They were a really really good team. Like I said, this was their best chance to win the whole thing. But I was not surprised what Country Day did out there at all because of the fact that Country Day has been a very tough team. And like I said, this was probably Mike McGuire's most complete team since the I believe it was 20. This is 2025. I believe 2012 or 2013, where he had Roman Williams, Coach Cocciani, and also I'm trying to think of the big man name. He wound up playing quarterback at Tulane. It's on the tip of my tongue. He played not just basketball. He played quarterback for Country Day, and he wound up getting a scholarship at Tulane. Um, oh my God, I just thought about it the other day, and I'm just like, now it's blank. We're getting a little old, folks. But that was a really complete good team that Mike McGuire had then.
Oh, St. Frederick. Yes, sir. We know about St. Frederick, Ronald.
Yep. So I think at that time that was a really good and probably his most complete team I've seen from Coach Mike McGuire, and I think this equals it more than anything else. And what's the scary part about this team? They are young. They are so young, man. I tell you, you look at it. Herman Dyson is only a sophomore. Kellen Brewer is only a sophomore. Curtis McAllister, who is the most outstanding player, is a freshman,
Mm-hmm.
and then Dilly, Dilly, who came off the bench, who had 10 points, he's an eighth grader. So for them to just step up and do what they had to do, man, I tell you, especially how Dyson took over the ball game the last 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. That was just huge for Country Day to get it done. He withstood the big man from Calvary Baptist, and the thing about it, Dyson had 4 fouls, and
Sure
he just
did.
like, man, let me take over. I got it, and he did, man. But what was good about this Country Day team this season? It was just different players stepping it up every night for this team, and that was big for them. And it was just and for McAllister stepping up this year as a freshman, and it's amazing. Semifinals, he was just up and down,
Mm-hmm.
but also he wound up making the game winner.
Yeah.
He plays outstanding in the championship, and I tell you, man, it's huge. And you look at what is it, Tyrone for Calvary Baptist. I'm trying to remember the kid's name. I know I'm wrong.
Jameson.
Tyrone Jameson. Jameson is amazing, man. He can play. I mean, he can just bruh. When I say Calvary has a great future, Calvary has a great future. All they had,
But that man, they've gotten to the finals like 4 times and haven't won. It's
yeah,
like he's
that's the
cursed. Like he's
and I like
cursed.
and Ronald Strong, the only seen him and Justin Houston, the only two seniors on his team. So Calvary is going to be back again. But
Oh
I
yeah, without
think,
a doubt.
but I love what Coach Dexter Washington just said, and I think he's pretty tight with Coach Victor Morris. That he told him like, keep working. Eventually, you're going to get one.
You're gonna get it.
Eventually,
Yeah,
Calvary is going to get one.
yeah, I agree.
The question is when.
Yep.
Maybe next year, I don't know. But the question is when. But I'm not questioning at all the coaching of Victor Morris. He has done unbelievable work at Calvary. And I know I thought this was might be his best chance for Country Day to fight back the way they did and being just so resilient to win that game. I mean, this is just huge for that school in the future going forward. I wouldn't be surprised those two might go at it again, maybe
No,
in the
nah.
title game
You
again
might see
next
it
year.
next year.
Might
I
see it
mean,
again next year, or maybe the next couple years.
yeah,
We will see because Jameis is only a sophomore.
yeah,
That's the scary part.
yeah.
Ooh, and Jameson caught fire in the third. He
Yo, man,
scored
did
like
he? 12
he
points.
scored 12 points in the
12 points.
third quarter. I
Yep.
mean, bruh, all I'm gonna tell you is this was a very good game, but like I said, like Country Day just took over and got the job done, even though they won by 3 points and everything. Man, but but you look at Coach Mike McGuire, he's been there and done that. He's went beyond measure, just like Errol Golf. I mean, he went beyond measure for a lot of teams, and you're thinking that they can't beat that team, but yes, they
Yeah,
can. He
he
puts a
did.
he
He
puts a
did
belief in
that.
the team. He did that against Madison Prep, a great Madison Prep team.
Mm-hmm.
He did it against a couple other great teams. And like I told some people in press row last week, he has been the underdog many times. That's the one
Many
coach
times.
outside of Errol Golf that has won more times as the underdog than anything else. So
Yeah,
he
many
knows how
times
to
he
get.
has.
Yes.
So
So
you got to give Coach Mike McGuire credit. His six state championship, Country Day Division 3 select champions. We talked about Division 4 select with Coach Dexter Washington. Let's go Division 1 non-select. The Broncos of Zachary bringing back a third state title in 5 years as they defeated their rival, district rival, Central. Central went on a couple runs, got it close, but could never get the lead. And Zachary hung on and got the win. Ian Edmond is most outstanding player. He had a big game. Of course, you got Xavier Ferguson. You had Kristen Brooks, but on Central side, the only one that was pretty much scoring was Jace Conrad. I think Conrad's number 5.
number five,
Yeah,
number five. He
he
had
was the
20.
only one that was able to get baskets for Central. But and when you got one person getting baskets for one team in the Division 1 non-select or Division 1 select, whatever, it's not going to be enough. And Zachary Broncos take home the title. VK.
Conrad only had 20. Conrad had an
Yeah,
unbelievable
23, huh?
23 points, 5 rebounds. The only person that came close to double figures was Colin Verrett. He had 9 points and 5 rebounds. And he fouled out the ball game. Actually, he fouled out and Conrad.
Conrad too.
So you look at it when you hold everybody else and you look at the score sheet. This was tremendous defense by Zachary.
Yeah.
You had another outside of Conrad and Verrett. You hold one player to 3 and to 2 points. Only 4 players total scored for Central of Baton Rouge. That is unbelievable. The way the game started, it was a fast pace, but it slowed down tremendously late in the second quarter to the third.
Yeah.
So it was just, man, because I was thinking this might be 50, 60 points. This is going to be shootout city.
Nah, it didn't
But all of a
happen.
sudden, it was looking like it looked like it, but it just slowed down a bit, man. And Central was the one kind of slowed things down, but they couldn't make the shots they couldn't make. And then here comes Central. They here come and
Zachary.
Zachary takes advantage of those missed shots, and they made some critical plays. And two players scored in double figures as well. Central credit them staying in it, but man, you look at what Xavier Ferguson only had
Yeah.
7 points, but everybody
Ian
Ian
Evan
Evans,
had a coming out party.
yes, he did 14 points and 7
MVP.
rebounds. Can be in Price, he had 10 points and 2 rebounds and assists, and also Christian Brooks had 9. A good all around balanced effort
Yep.
for Zachary and for winning their third state title in 5 years. But not just that, redemption for this Zachary team. Because remember, they like 3 years, like it's been 3 years, but the 3 years ago, they was on the verge of a possible three-peat.
Three-peat.
And then all of a sudden, the brawl at Liberty
Liberty.
happened,
Yep.
and they could not qualify for the playoffs.
Nope.
The next year, Zachary, I think they get back in the postseason,
Mm-hmm.
but they came up short. I
Yep.
think they got to the state championship game, I believe.
No.
No, they didn't. They got to
Mm-mm.
they didn't get to the
They
same.
didn't get they didn't get to Lake Charles.
They sure didn't.
They didn't get to Lake Charles.
They sure didn't. So Zachary losing that next year, and then for them to just come back this year the way they did, and they had a season in itself that was kind of tipsy topsy turvy, but they got it together late
They
at the
did.
right time, and
Yes,
they
Coach
got
McClinton said they got it together late at the right time, and it paid out for them, as you could tell.
yeah, they really wanted to end their redemption tour on top,
Yep.
especially getting payback against
The
their
team they
district
lost in
rival.
District Central. Yeah.
But what's amazing, that whole district,
District strong.
bruh, that
District
was the
strong, man.
toughest. I don't care what anybody say, the toughest district in the state of Louisiana. Period.
That district
Because
right there.
that district is just monsters in it. But then on top of that, what's unbelievable, the hate for each other in each team. I think Central might be the most respectable team out the four.
I don't know when Liberty walking through your pregame huddle on a basketball court. I don't know you respectable like that. I don't know. I don't know, bro. There's something behind that
No,
we
no,
don't know.
something like that we don't know, but I'm saying they're the most respectable because we didn't see too much from. I didn't see a lot of highlights with Central. I didn't see a lot of barking and all that stuff. They come out and they take care of business. The other three is like swagger. It's some kind of brashness a little bit. It's a confidence that they have. You see some of it in Cadlick a little bit too, but it's true rivalry. It's true rivalry. I'm saying that in a good way, in true rivalry. Because of the fact of the matter is, sometimes you gotta have rivalries when people don't like one another, especially when you go at it for 4 quarters. Even if you're friends with one another, they just know one thing. When it comes down to 4 quarters, we're enemies. We're enemies to the end. So that's the kind of intensity I'm talking about in that district. How good that district was.
So
You
that
know,
district was
oh my
absolutely
goodness.
amazing. We're gonna go to Division 2 right quick. We're gonna do this quickly.
Yes.
Wassman goes back to back. Zion Weeks for Wassman is your MVP. He was one of the lesser options last year, and this year as a senior, he was the man. But for Bossier, Corey Woods with a hurt ankle was big time for Bossier, but just not enough as Wassman, who were down early to Bossier, and they were down early in the semifinal game, just finds a way to come back and win, and they go back to back. Um, they joined Zachary. I think that's the only two schools where the boys and girls both won championships.
Yes.
Division 3, Richwood over Marksville. VK, I'll let you talk about that one quickly.
Okay. Yes. Richwood and also Marksville. That was a interesting ball game early, and Richwood was just a little bit too much against Marksville. The height, the speed, it was just too much at one time. The final score was 85-67.
Mm-hmm.
It was close throughout early, and then all of a sudden, Richwood went on a big run. It was up as much as 14 points. Then all of a sudden, Marksville comes back, cuts it to 5. Richwood comes back with another run. They're up as much as 15. Marksville comes back on another run. They cut it to 3 points. But Richwood, late to the third, to the fourth, they went on a run, and that was the knockout punch. That was the knockout punch as Richwood, and they win, I believe, I think it's their fourth or fifth state title in school history, but first state title in I believe over maybe 15, 20 years. It's been a while because they usually be in that top 20 in the state tournament every year around the 90s to the 2000s. And we didn't hear from Richwood in a while, but they're just coming back up and they're back up and they felt more than anything else like we know Marksville the defending champs, but we want to get our crown back and they got their crown back
Got it
that
back.
day. Congratulations to the Rams, and I think we have a. It might have been mostly senior laden squad, but I think Richwood might be back. Marksville got a lot of people coming back next year. They got a lot of people coming back, so
Marvin
I
gonna make
think
another run. You know that
yeah,
already.
yeah.
Eh,
So they're gonna definitely get back. But big ups to Marksville. They're at least getting back to defending their state championship.
Definitely. Last but not least, Division 4 non-select. Franklin goes back to back as they defeated a good Vinton squad. So shout out to Franklin on back-to-back state championships. And you know they looking for that three-peat next year already. You know it's in their minds already, VK.
Yeah, Coach Q really, and hopefully we'll have him on very very soon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coach Quincy has done a great job over at Franklin, especially developing that program, and they play a grinded out type of style of basketball. And it was all I'm gonna tell you is like we seen a couple of not too many bad games. We seen some that was bad and low scoring. This one was a low scoring game, but it was a true grinded out ball game.
Yeah.
So big ups going to him, but we cannot forget the Class B and C championships. And big ups to Class B and C for coming back together, and hopefully everybody else can come back together as well. In Class B, in Class C, let's go start Class C first. Plainview winning the state championship over Pleasant Hill in an interesting ball
That was a
game.
good game.
That was
Start off
a really, really
championship
good game.
weekend, period. That was a good game right there.
Plainview gets to win 58-54, winning the state championship. And I tell you that all the state championship games, maybe except for two, was really, really good. And
That was
and
a
the
good
semi
game.
and even the semifinal games were good. Now we'll talk more about that in a second. But Class B,
We are.
Lacazine gets the state championship over a Boys Public Charter. A Boys was trying to go for a three-peat,
Repeat. Yeah.
but big ups going to Lacazine. It was a close game. It was actually a 5-point game going into the fourth quarter. Lacazine exploded, going a huge
They were
run
just a
early in the
better
fourth.
team that day. They were just
Yes,
a
they
better team,
were.
like I seen.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you one thing. Number 11, Ramel Perdone. I'm sorry, Kane Broussard. Kane Broussard,
Broussard.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Broussard was in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
He had 23 points, 11 rebounds, one assist, and he was just everywhere. He just had it on his mind. Like, look, and he's a senior on that team, and I
Yep.
think there was a bunch of seniors on the team. And they said, "We're gonna take this thing home. We want to take it home right there." And also they had 4 players in double figures for Lacazine. So that's pretty much the story of the game for that one. But congratulations to Lacazine and the Cardinals coming out with their old Louisville Cardinals colors. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, truly old school if you look at it. But they win the state championship, and they have a head coach last name Raspberry. Ain't that something?
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Lacazette. Um, Great basketball season. Now basketball's over with, but it ain't done with on the Hash It Out show. As we come to a close on tonight's show, we are back tomorrow night, same time, starting at 7:30. The one and only head coach of the St. Augustine Purple Knights, Coach Wade Mason, will join us right here. We're gonna talk to him for 30 minutes. And then after that, at 8:05, the most outstanding player for the Zachary Lady Broncos, Tierra McPipe. She's going to join us right here. and talk a little bit about her career, the state championship game, and her decision to go play basketball at Loyola. So, got another big show for y'all tomorrow. Make sure you tell your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your aunties, and all your cousins and all your friends. Tell them all tomorrow. Last word, VK Jones.
And don't forget, we're gonna talk March Madness a bit tomorrow too.
I don't
We
know we
get,
talking about that. I don't know.
huh?
I don't know we talking about that. I don't know. I don't know. Depending on how much time we got after Miss McPipe. I don't know we talking about that. We'll see.
JB, come on, man. We can't leave the audience out like that. We gotta find a way because I'm like, we're gonna have the two guests. I know you looking how you looking, but I'm just saying, as a co-host, we have to do the service of our people. We don't have to give a whole breakdown, but at least give a little breakdown of the March Madness that is going down Thursday. We have to give something. Like we don't have to give everything. Give something to our fans because I know we're working
Y'all want
on.
to hear about March Madness? Y'all better tune in right at 7 o'clock when the show starts, because that's when I'm talking about it. And after that, bam, done. We going to interviews.
JB runs the thing. He runs the thing
I'm
truly.
just saying. Let's say
Like like
we
like
didn't have nothing to talk about in the first 30 minutes, so there you go. March Madness.
might as well talk about that, and hopefully, we have the bracket challenge that is coming through. I think JB is almost done with it. Hopefully we'll have it
I
all.
ain't
But
get started on that yet. I've been too busy.
I understand.
Maybe I finish by tonight.
Okay, we will have a link for you guys tomorrow. We want everybody to get on the challenge. You know what I'm saying? We apologize for the last minute, but still, we want you to participate. All the fans, all our media conglomerate partners, come on and have fun with us, man. This was a fun thing we did last year. We're doing it again, our second annual Hash It Out Show Bracket Challenge. And we do it on both sides, on the girls and on the boys. So I'll say, so hey, just come on and hop in. It's a fun thing to do. So trust me. It's March Madness, baby. The best 4 days in sports. But like, tag, and share, subscribe the Hash It Out Show on all social media platforms and log on to the hashitoutshow.com. Just want to say that before we close, but great show tonight, man. This was real fun, you know what I'm saying? And the Hash It Out Show, we're doing big things, baby.
Um,
Uh-oh, he's got to laugh. What happened?
so before we go, a little bit of quick news. As most of us know, Coach Corey Arnold, the former head coach of Walker, he stepped down and he is now the new head coach at Acadiana. So we wish him the best of luck at Acadiana. Today, shocking news: Coach Gloria Williams of Parkway steps down as the head coach. That was shocking. And Dejon Leatherman, former Carver player who transferred to a school in Texas, he committed to ULL and he decommitted today from ULL. So that's a little bit of the news that
That's
that
that's
we have right
that's
now. So
very interesting there with the Leatherman decommitment. Very interesting because UL just brought in Quantas White as the new head coach. And
and
that's
that might be
that's
why. That
wow.
might be why right
Might
there.
be
He's
why.
the head coach. So that's it.
Well, you're probably right on that. But at the same time, big ups going to Corey Arnold. Wish him the best.
Yep.
Gloria Williams, we really gonna have to get her on this show because that for her for what she have done, we gotta give Gloria Williams her flowers because she's done great work as a head coach, especially the wife of a legendary head coach out of North Louisiana. So we definitely gotta give her flowers.
So thank y'all for tuning in, everybody. Tune here tomorrow. Like I said, Coach Wade Mason and Tierra McPipe joining us on the show tomorrow. VK Jones, I'm JB the Sports Guy. And who puts up in the chat at the last second? Who was it? Is that Ronald? That's Ronald, our boy Ronald. Yes. All right, cool deal. He's cool deal. He's answering Austin, our boy Austin. All right, everybody. We want y'all back here tomorrow. To everybody that you know to tune in. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Y'all take care.
Hi, I'm Erica Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs. Whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces, we've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985 266 0664 and don't forget to ask about their 1 week free special. Feeling drained from the constant noise in your daily life? Immerse yourself in pure audio bliss with drums. Experience a world of crystal clear sound, free from distractions. Discover the ultimate relaxation and escape into an oasis of serenity. Grab yours today. drumsworld.com. Thank you for watching the Hash It Out show. Please like